So you guys really believe that there is shouldn't be any kind of friendship between male and female?
Yes, that's what I believe.
Okay. Why? Is that a root?
It depends what you mean by friendship,
Okay.
right? Typically, when you say friendship, it means you hang out socially really for no reason. You just hang out socially. And I find that when that happens, boundaries are almost certainly going to be crossed, whether you try to keep the boundaries or not. And then you're going to be in situations where you're alone with that person, whether you want to or not. So it's something that I think should be avoided. But I think that it's important to have cordial relationships, good relationships with men in your field, with men in your organization, and you talk and you interact freely, like professionally and with goodness and kindness, but not.
Okay, you have basically someone studying with you. Got in a car accident. Would you go visit him in the hospital?
I guess it depends. Maybe if I took somebody else with me.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to say, no, I will never interact with you like for anything other than this specific job. But if that visit is going to bring benefit and I have someone with me, so I make sure that I'm not alone, then I don't see why not.
Okay, very good. You know what? I need help from you to send me maybe notes or something of that. So the relationship in like what you said, a good treatment, but it doesn't need to be in the friendship in the sense that we're too close to each other, our secrets with each other, we hang out with each other, because that not how the relationship between male and female, not related to each other, defined Islamically. I agree 100% with that. Yeah. Anything you want to add? Whenever these lines are crossed, what do you have seen the result as a teacher? Do you teach in public school or Islamic schools?
Both.
Both, okay.
I have both experiences, public and Islamic, children and adults. So it's like, I would say there's a big impact. If you are not keeping the boundaries and limits, of course there is always a chance of an accident. So anything can happen when there are two opposite genders are alone, or they have the relationship outside the school, or on the phone, even just talking, chatting. I would say that there are so many, bad results of all these relationships, where the girl can be, reputed that she's not a righteous woman if somebody, all the friends even sees her with a boy, and then later on in her life, it's a problem to get a good proposal from a guy, because even guys' perspective, they don't like it. They would not like it if there are righteous men around in the community. They would not like a, girl who is going.
Well, it can be different from one culture to another. I don't know about these days.
Yeah, but Islamic perspective, they would not really appreciate that.
Okay, so Asma kind of have.
What about the men? They hang out with girls.
Sorry?
She said, what about the man if he hang out with the girls? Would he have a bad reputation?
If they have.
Because we have in this culture, like, men can go away with everything. We have a say where it came from. They said, man, nothing can shame him. But woman, anything can shame her. And I think that's not fair.
That's not fair. That's not right.
That's not right. I think man can be shamed.
Of course.
Very true.
And before even you getting married, you have the right to ask the guy's family that what kind of boy he is, like what is his habits, what's his activities. So by that you really, can see that he's hanging around with the girls, or he have, like.
So
what kind of interest?
Going to coffee shops, having homework together, staying late in the night, working together or studying together, all this opened the door for shaitan. Yes, even if the intention is good, and open the door. And Islam teach us something very interesting. We don't wait until the problem happen. We close the door way before problems happen. That we call bab saddu dhara'i. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. He didn't say don't commit zina, don't come closer. That's why you're not allowed to look at somebody's aura, you're not allowed to touch some, because it might lead to something. Not because if I touch a woman, khalas, that's I'm gonna do the haram. No. It is because that what can lead to something not allowed. So this is very important to keep in mind, that the Sharia's rules are not also because we don't trust you, but because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows our nature, knows how we are as human beings and how the shaitan works as well. And that's why we see when these rules not followed, we have problems of teenage pregnancy, a big huge problem, rape, get drunks and get raped in schools, and all these problems, it happened because these guidelines are not followed. That which Sharia Islam provide for us. Very good. But in the same time, it is not haram for a woman or a sister in school to ask her co-worker or her colleagues to share notes with her, maybe even explain something to her, what did this mean in a setting or a group discussions or something of that nature. And by the way, I want to say that this is not only to school, even in the religious environment, sometimes in the MSAs, sometimes in the masjid's youth group. These guidelines not followed and not respected. So it's not only in public schools, sometimes in Islamic schools, and these rules should be respected in any environment. Because sometimes when we think because I'm in the masjid or I'm a youth group or working in the organization, I'm kind of lower my guard. So the shaitan attack me even more.
In the family, when you have cousins around,
very
you
good.
feel like, oh, they are my cousins. I can sit with them, chat with them overnight and have fun, But we forget that these are not our mahrams. So we have to keep the boundaries again.
The proper etiquette in Islam.
Yeah.